Welcome to my expat stories. This one's about Dennis, a 61-year-old postal worker from Hull, who met a bar girl in Pattaya, knew exactly what the score was, and still lost 43,750 quid. But here's the twist. Dennis kept a spreadsheet. Every payment, every excuse, every lie, with notes like mother's hospital, bollocks, and water buffalo died, absolute bollocks. He knew he was being conned. He documented it in real time. And he kept sending the money anyway. Because somewhere between Walking Street and his hotel, Transactional became emotional. And that's when the bills started coming. If you think knowing the score protects you, this'll mess with your head proper. Here's Dennis. Right, so I'm sat in my flat in Hull, looking at an Excel spreadsheet with 47 rows. Each row's a payment I sent to Thailand. Next to each payment is a note. Mother's hospital bill. Bollocks. Son's school fees. Bollocks. Roof repair after storm. Bollocks. Water buffalo died. Absolute bollocks. I made the spreadsheet in month 2. Updated it every time I sent money. Kept sending for 11 months total. 43,750 quid. Gone. To a woman I met in a bar on Walking Street in Pattaya, who I paid a bar fine for on night 1. I'm Dennis, I'm 61. I worked for Royal Mail for 38 years. Started as a postie, ended as a depot supervisor. Retired in November 2023 with a decent pension, 22 grand a year. Not fortune, but enough. Owned my house in Hull. No mortgage. Divorced 15 years. 2 kids, both grown. Grandkids I see at Christmas. I'm not thick. I'm not naive. I know what bar girls do. I've watched the YouTube videos. I've read the forums. I knew exactly what I was getting into when I booked that flight to Thailand in January 2024. I'd been divorced since 2009. Wife left me for a bloke from her yoga class. Said I was boring. Said I had no ambition. Said she wanted more from life than Hull and the Royal Mail. Fair enough. She married the yoga bloke. Lives in Spain now. Good for her. After the divorce, I dated a bit. Nothing stuck. I'm not Brad Pitt, am I? I'm 5'8". Bit of a belly. Losing my hair. 61 years old. Work a depot job. Live in Hull. I'm realistic about my options. My mate Trevor at work, he'd been to Thailand 4 times. Came back every time with stories. Told me it's different over there. No judgment, no pretense. You know where you stand. I said, what do you mean? He said, you pay for their time. They're honest about it. No games. No wondering if she likes you or just tolerates you. You pay. She stays. Simple. I thought about it for 6 months. Then I retired. Had 53 grand in savings. Thought, bugger it. I'm 61. I'll be dead in 20 years. Might as well see what it's about. Booked 2 weeks in Pattaya. February 2024. Solo trip. Got a hotel near Beach Road. Clean. Aircon. That's all I needed. First night I walked down to Walking Street. 8 o'clock. Place was mental. Music. Lights. Girls everywhere. Bars on both sides. Touts trying to drag you in. I went into a place called Secrets. No idea why, just looked all right. Sat at the bar, ordered a beer. 60 baht, quid 20, cheap as chips. Then this woman sat next to me. Said, hello, handsome. You buy me drink? That was Ploy. She was 34. Skinny. Nice smile. Wore a black dress and heels. Had a laugh that made me laugh too. Loud. Didn't care who heard. I liked that. I said, sure, I'll buy you a drink. She ordered a lady drink, 200 baht, 4 quid. I paid. We chatted. She asked where I'm from. I said, Hull. She said, where's that? I said, north of England. She said, London. I said, no, definitely not London. She laughed. I'm not daft. I know the lady drink's a scam. Costs 4 quid. She gets 2 quid. Bar gets 2 quid. Drinks probably Coke. I don't care. That's the game. I'm paying for her time. She's sitting with me. That's worth 4 quid in my book. We talked for an hour. She was funny. Took the piss out of my accent. I took the piss out of her English. She told me about her village in Isan. I told her about Hull. She said it sounds boring. I said it is boring. That's why I'm here. Then she said, you want to bar fine me? Go back to your hotel. I said, how much? She said, bar fine is 500 baht. I want 2,000 baht for short time. I did the maths in my head. 10 quid bar fine, 40 quid for her, 50 quid total. I said, yeah, all right, let's go. We went back to my hotel. It was fine. Transactional. Professional. No pretending. Afterwards, she had a shower. Got dressed, said, "See you tomorrow, handsome." Left. I thought that's that then. Nice evening. Got what I paid for. Done. But the next night I went back to secrets. I don't know why. Curiosity maybe. And there she was. Same black dress. She saw me, smiled, came over. Said, "You come back for Ploy?" I said, "Yeah, I suppose I did." We did the same thing. Lady drinks. Chatting, bar fine. Hotel? Except this time she didn't leave straight after. She stayed for a bit. Lying in bed. Talking. She asked about my job. I told her about the depot. Sorting mail. Dealing with lazy posties. She laughed. Said it sounds stressful. I said it was. She said, "I'm sorry." Put her hand on my chest, not sexual. Just kind. That did something to me. I'd been divorced 15 years, lived alone. No one had touched me like that in I don't know how long. Just a hand on my chest and "I'm sorry." I felt something shift. Third night, same thing. Except she didn't want the money. She said, "You don't have to pay tonight. I want to see you." I said, "Don't be soft. Of course I'm paying." She said, "No, I like you. I want to see you because I like you." Red flag. Big red flag. Trevor had warned me about this. They make you think it's real. That's how they get you. I knew that. But I wanted to believe it. I wanted to believe that a 34-year-old woman in Pattaya liked a 61-year-old bloke from Hull for reasons other than money. So I said, "All right, no money tonight." We went back to my hotel. Afterwards, she stayed. We watched Thai TV. She explained what was happening. I didn't understand a word, but I liked her voice. She fell asleep on my shoulder. I didn't move for 2 hours, didn't want to wake her. That's when I caught feelings. Right there, her asleep on my shoulder, snoring a bit, twitching in her sleep. I thought, "Dennis, you're in trouble." I had 11 days left in Pattaya. We spent every evening together. I didn't go to other bars, didn't look at other women. Just Ploy. She'd finish her shift, come to my hotel. We'd get food, walk on the beach, go back to my room. She never asked for money after that third night. I gave it to her anyway. Folded up notes, left them on the table when she was in the shower. She never mentioned it. She told me about her life. Grew up in a village near Udon Thani. Came to Pattaya at 19. Been working bars ever since. Had a daughter, 8 years old. Lived with Ploy's mother in the village. Ploy sent money every month. School fees, food, clothes, grandma's medicine. She showed me photos. Her daughter in a school uniform. Smiling. Missing a front tooth. Her mother. Old woman. Looked 70 but was probably 50. Hard life. Izan life. I said, "That's nice. You're a good mum." She said, "I try, but it's hard. I don't see her much. Only go home twice a year." She said, "My daughter calls me auntie. She doesn't know I'm her mum. She thinks my mother is her mum." That broke my heart. I said, "Why?" She said, "Because I don't want her to know what I do. Don't want her to be ashamed." I said, "You're not doing anything to be ashamed of. You're working. You're supporting your family." She cried a bit. Said, "Thank you. No one says that to me." I left Pattaya on day 14. She came to the hotel to say goodbye. Hugged me, said, "I'll miss you." I said, "I'll miss you too." And I meant it. I gave her 10,000 baht before I left. 200 quid. Said, "This is for your daughter. For school." She cried again. Said, "You're a good man, Dennis." I flew home thinking that's that. Nice 2 weeks. Met someone. Had a connection. Over now. Back to reality. But 2 days after I got home, she messaged me on Facebook. Said she missed me. Sent me photos, her in bed, her at the bar, her eating noodles. Just life stuff. I messaged back. Told her about Hull, the weather, my boring life. We talked every day. Morning for me was evening for her. We figured out a rhythm. She'd message me before her shift. I'd wake up to messages, photos, voice notes. Her laugh. I liked it. I like waking up to something. Someone. Even if it was just messages from Thailand. Then in week 3, she sent me a message that changed everything. "Dennis, I need help. My daughter's sick, need hospital. I don't have money. Can you help me?" There it was. The ask, I'd been waiting for it. Part of me was almost relieved. At least now we're being honest about what this is. I asked how much. She said 10,000 baht, 200 quid. For hospital bill. Her daughter had dengue fever. High fever. Needed IV fluids. Medicine. I looked at the message for a long time. This is the moment, I thought. This is where you say no, where you block her, where you accept it was all bollocks and move on. But I didn't. I sent the money. Western Union. 200 quid. She sent me a photo of her daughter in a hospital bed, IV in her arm, thermometer in her mouth. She looked sick. She said, "Thank you, Dennis, you save her. I love you. I love you." First time she'd said it. I didn't say it back, but I wanted to. I really wanted to. That was payment number 1 on the spreadsheet I hadn't made yet. Daughter dengue fever. Probably bollocks. I knew it was probably bollocks. But what if it wasn't? What if her daughter really was sick? What if I said no and something happened? I couldn't risk it, so I sent the money, and that's how it started. 2 weeks later, another message. "Dennis, my mother needs medicine. Heart problem. Very expensive. Can you help?" I asked how much. She said 20,000 baht, 400 quid. I sat there looking at my phone, thinking about it. 2 weeks ago it was her daughter. Now it's her mother. Is this the pattern? Every 2 weeks, new emergency. But what if it's real? What if her mother actually has a heart problem? I've seen the photos. Old woman, looks knackered. Aizan, life's hard. Heart problems make sense. I sent the money, 400 quid. She sent me a photo of her mother at a clinic. White walls, medical equipment. Her mother looked scared. Ploy said, "Thank you, Dennis. You are angel." My mother crying. She say, "Thank Buddha for you." I didn't reply for a bit, just stared at the message. Angel. Right. That night I opened Excel, made a spreadsheet. 2 columns. Date, amount, reason, notes. Row 1. February 24th, 200 quid. Daughter dengue fever. Probably bollocks. Row 2. March 8th, 400 quid. Mother's heart medicine. Probably bollocks. I don't know why I made it. Maybe to keep track. Maybe to remind myself I'm not daft. I know what this is. But I kept sending, and the spreadsheet kept growing. March 15th. Dennis, roof of mother house broken. Rain coming in. Need fix. Can you help? How much? 15,000 baht. 300 quid. For a roof. I looked at photos of her mother's house she'd sent me before. Wooden, old, tin roof. Yeah, probably needs fixing. Sent the money. Updated the spreadsheet. Row 3, March 15th, 300 quid. Roof repair. Bollocks. The notes were getting shorter. I was running out of patience for my own denial. March 29th. Dennis, my daughter need new school uniform. Old one too small. And school books. Very expensive here. How much? 8,000 baht. 160 quid. I sent it. Updated the spreadsheet. Row 4, March 29th. 160 quid. School uniform and books. Complete bollocks. April 5th. Dennis, I need go dentist. Tooth very pain. Can you help? How much? 12,000 baht. 240 quid. Sent it. Row 5, April 5th. 240 quid. Ploy's dentist. Absolute bollocks. April 12th. Dennis, my brother motorbike accident. Need hospital. Broken leg. How much? 25,000 baht. 500 quid. Sent it. Row 6. April 12th, 500 quid. Brother's broken leg. Bollocks. April 20th. Dennis, need new phone. Old phone broken. Cannot talk to you without phone. How much? 18,000 baht. 360 quid. I hesitated on this one. A phone? Really? But she's right. If she doesn't have a phone, we can't talk. And I liked talking to her. Looked forward to it. Waking up to her messages. Hearing her voice notes. Seeing her photos. Sent it. Row 7. April 20th. 360 quid. New phone. Definitely bollocks, but what choice do I have? The notes were getting more honest. I was arguing with myself in a spreadsheet. Writing down that I knew it was bollocks, then sending the money anyway. My daughter called me in late April. Asked how I was. I said fine. She asked if I'm seeing anyone. I said sort of. She said, what does that mean? I said I met someone in Thailand. She went quiet. Then she said, Dad, please tell me you're not being stupid. I said, I'm not being stupid. She said, Dad, I've seen the documentaries. I said, it's not like that. She said, it's always like that. I said, you don't know her. She said, neither do you. We argued. She hung up. Didn't speak to me for 2 weeks. That hurt. But I wasn't going to let her tell me what to do. I'm 61. I can make my own mistakes. May 3rd. Dennis, village have festival. Need money for food and drinks for family. They ask why no contribute. Feel ashamed. How much? 20,000 baht. 400 quid. for a village festival. I read the message 3 times. Thought about saying no. About asking why she can't contribute herself. She works every night. She must make money. But I sent it, because I didn't want her to feel ashamed. Row 8. May 3rd, 400 quid. Village festival. Absolute, complete, utter bollocks. May 17th. Dennis water buffalo die. Need buy new one. Family need buffalo for farm. How much? 40,000 baht. 800 quid. For a water buffalo. I laughed when I read it. Actually laughed out loud. Sat in my flat in Hull, looking at my phone, laughing. A water buffalo. They're really going for it now. I typed back, a water buffalo? She said yes. Very important for farm. No buffalo. Cannot work farm. Family will have no food. I said, Ploy, you've been lying to me for 10 months. She said, I know, but you still send money. That's kind. I said, that's not kind, that's being a mug. She said, maybe. But I like you. I really like you. You're a good man. I said, if you like me, why lie? She said, because I need money. I work bar, I make money from men. That's my job. You know that. You knew that from first night. And she was right. I did know that. I paid a bar fine on night 1. I knew exactly what this was. I just wanted it to be something else. I said, what about all the I love you messages? She said, I do love you. As a friend, as someone who helped me. I said, but not romantic. She said, I'm a bar girl. I cannot have romantic love with customer. You know that. I did know that. I'd always known that. I just didn't want to admit it. I left the hotel next morning, went to a different hotel, didn't tell her where, blocked her number, blocked her on Facebook, deleted everything. Came home on December 15th. 1 week into a 2-week holiday. Couldn't stay. Couldn't look at Pattaya anymore. I checked my bank when I got back. 24,000 quid left. Started with 53. Lost 29,000 total. She'd asked for more in those last 3 weeks, but I'd blocked her before I saw the messages. Opened the spreadsheet. Added the final rows. Went through and changed all the notes. Removed all the probably and maybe qualifiers. Just wrote bollocks next to everything. Because it was. All of it. Even the real stuff. Because I wasn't paying for medical bills. I was paying for company. For someone to talk to. For someone to make me feel needed. My daughter found out in January. Don't know how. Maybe my son told her. She called me, said, Dad, how much did you lose? I said enough. She said, I want a number. I said 29 grand. She went quiet. Then she said, Dad. Just Dad, that's all she said. Dad. She asked if I'm okay. I said, I'm fine. She said, are you? I said, no. She said, do you want to talk about it? I said, not really. She said, okay. She said, I'm here if you need me. I said, I know. Thanks. Haven't told anyone else. My mates at the pub think I had a nice holiday in Thailand. Twice. They ask about it. I say, yeah, it was all right. Weather was nice. They say, you going again? I said, nah, done with Thailand now. I'm back doing Amazon deliveries part-time. Rebuilding the savings. 24 grand left. Need to get it back to 50. Might take 3 years. Maybe 4. I'll be 65 by then. Proper old. I still have the spreadsheet. Don't know why I keep it. Can't delete it. Sometimes I open it. Read through the notes. Bollocks. Absolute bollocks. Water buffalo died. Absolute bollocks. Makes me laugh. Makes me sad. Both. I knew I was being scammed. I documented it in real time. I wrote bollocks next to every payment. And I sent the money anyway. Because for 10 months I had someone to talk to. Someone who said good morning. Someone who said I miss you. Someone who made me feel like I mattered. That was worth 29 grand apparently. To me. At 61. Divorced 15 years. Living alone in Hull. Worth it? I don't know. I got company for 10 months. Cost me nearly 30 grand. That's 3 grand a month. For someone to talk to. To message me. To make me feel less alone. Was it worth it? Ask me again in a year. Right now I don't know. Some days I think yes. Some days I think I'm the biggest mug in Hull. Today I think both. I'm a mug who got what he paid for. Company. Even if it was fake. Even if I knew it was fake. Even if I wrote bollocks every single time. I'm Dennis, I'm 61. I'm a retired postal worker from Hull. I lost 29,000 quid to a bar girl in Pattaya, who I knew was scamming me the whole time. I made a spreadsheet. I documented every lie. I wrote bollocks next to every payment. And I sent the money anyway, because I was lonely. And lonely men make stupid decisions. And I'm proof of that. And that's Dennis's story. 61 years old. Met Ploy in a walking street bar. Knew the score from day one. Made a spreadsheet in month 2. Documented every request with notes like Mother Hospital, bollocks. And Water Buffalo died. Absolute bollocks. Sent £29,000 anyway over 10 months. Went back to Pattaya in December. Confronted her. She admitted about half was lies, half was real. But she kept some money. Dennis left early, came home. Still has the spreadsheet. Back doing Amazon deliveries to rebuild his savings. Kids disappointed, but they're talking to him now. And Dennis? He's honest about it. Tells anyone who asks. Because that's who he is. Working class Hull bloke who got scammed and knows it and doesn't pretend otherwise. Ever written bollocks next to something and done it anyway? That's Dennis's whole story. Let us know in the comments. This is my expat stories. Stay sharp out there.